It's A-Games FighterZ.
What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? What's going on? What's going on, you guys? How y'all doing?
A-Games FighterZ. What up? A-Games.
What is good?
How are you doing, man?
I am good, brother, man. I am good. I am good. And to everyone else in the chat, let me introduce myself to you guys. My name is A-Games-FIGHTERZ. To those of you that don't know who I am, Pathogen, what's good, my brother, man? I pretty much, as the name speaks for itself, I am a retro fighting game streamer. So I typically stream nothing but fighting games, as the name implies, fighters, you know. And so I basically all I stream is fighting games. Specifically, I stream on Fridays. I stream Tekken 7, ended with KOF, meaning the King of Fighters 15. Saturdays, I stream the retro classics from Street Fighters Alpha 2 and Alpha 3, and the King of Fighters 13. So I have a real passion, serious passion for fighting games ever since I was a kid. Yep.
Heck yeah. We're going to talk about that, dude. We're going to definitely talk about that. But first, fighters, it is lunch with a friendo or dinner with a friendo. Yeah. What did you bring to eat?
Today, it's a homemade. I made it right before this podcast started, so it's a homemade protein wrap.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, it's my alternative. If you can see,
look at that, nice.
Yeah, it's my alternative way for eating hamburgers. I don't, like I said, I stay away from carbs. I eat very healthy. You know, I eat very healthy, so it's my way of eating, and it's my alternative. It's basically, as you can see, it's romaine lettuce with the bun and cheese, mayonnaise. You know, I add a little avocados to it and Parmesan cheese. Yeah, so that's my way. Yeah, so I stay away from carbs, man. Like, I don't mess with bread. I love bread and shit, man.
I know. Yeah.
I love bread. I love and tortillas, corn tortillas, anything carbs, you name it. I dropped it. So yeah, I gotta be able to maintain this fighter's body, you know.
Yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. It's tough. I love bread and I still eat it.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I brought. It's not very healthy, so don't get upset.
What's not very healthy is I brought me a beer too.
Oh, okay. Chicken. You got a beer. Yeah, chicken.
Well, chicken's not so bad depending how you cook it and everything.
Yeah, this is from the air fryer too. So.
Oh, okay. That's how I make my food too. Like less grease on the damn.
Yeah, I love the air fryer.
Yeah. So I ended up buying one for my wife for her Christmas present. Oh, what beer you say? Pathogen. It's called Kirin Ichiban. It's Japanese beer. It's really good, man. I bought it at Albertsons. Kirin Ichiban. I'm butchering the name. It's Japanese beer. I love it. I love it already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that your go-to beer then?
Lately, it has been, because I like how smooth it tastes. I love how smooth it tastes when I drink. Like, I bought me a 6-pack and I was drinking some on my days off and shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like it. So I think I might. I'm a big Corona. Not the virus, the beer. You know, I'm a big Corona guy.
Hey, that came first, okay?
Right.
Before the whole COVID and Corona thing.
right. I'm a Corona guy. So yeah, so I need to. I like the Japanese beer, Kirin Ichiban. Tastes very smooth. I like it.
Okay, yeah, I've never tried it before. I'll definitely have to hit you up and message you.
Yeah,
with the name and stuff, and I'll find it in the liquor store.
Yeah, I can send you a picture of it after the stream if you want.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, fighters, It's great to have you here. I just want to thank you. Again, I'm going to be doing a lot of thank yous to you for being here. So it's always nice hanging out with you and talking to you.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, like I mentioned earlier, that A-Games and me he's like one of my first Twitch friends here that I met in 2020 during the pandemic. And he's actually my first real, Twitch friend that I met in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. We met last year, right? 2021.
Yeah. We met last year. It was last June. Yeah, we met last June in person. Mm-hmm.
Dang, yeah, flies by so fast.
I know. And then we met up again a year later. almost a year later, which was and this past February at the Level Up Expo.
Oh yeah. We did that too. Yeah, we went to Level Up Expo. He cosplayed as Kung Fighters, which is so cool. That's your Kung Fury character.
Yeah.
And he met. Yeah. Kung Fighters met Lucha Punks.
That was cool, dude.
Yeah, in person. So Kung Fighters is the only one that met Lucha Punks in person. So I think that's pretty cool.
That was so cool. And yeah, that's definitely that was at the beginning of the year. That's definitely going down for the highlight. One of the highlights of this year, man, is Kung Fighters x Lucha Punks, man. And then you came. What was the tag team name again? Lucha Fighters, was it?
Oh, what did we Lucha? I think it's Lucha Fury. Oh no,
yes.
Was it Lucha Fury?
Yeah, it was Lucha Fury. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Lucha Fury. So, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. I definitely like this, man.
In coincidence, we were like matching too. Lucha Punks and Kung Fighters had red on.
Yeah, and red's my favorite color too.
Red and black. So So when we took the picture, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a legit tag team. It's really awesome.
Yeah, bro. Like, man, like this was like, now imagine, and I was thinking, it's funny because like I was like, what if like Danny once? What if Danny were to like take us and make a manga out of us? You know what I mean? Like traveling the world, wrestling, going through different federations and stuff. That would be so cool, dude.
Oh, I know, right? Would be. I'm gonna tell you, got Lucha Punks and Kung Fury would legit own the tag team world. Anywhere from the WWE to the AEW to Lucha Underground, any wrestling company, challenge us, fight us.
Yeah.
We taking those belts. We saying it live right now. We taking those belts, baby.
And don't you forget it, because Kung Fighters. Oh wait, Lucha Fury is coming for all of you. So get ready for the tag team match.
Lucha.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good. That's gonna happen one day, we hope.
Yeah.
Let's just get in the wrestling ring next year, because they do have a wrestling show at Level Up Expo. And let's just do it, fighters. Me and you just go in the ring and just take everybody out.
Yeah, no, you know what'd be cool? Like was it what do they call it? I don't. It's been so many years since I've watched wrestling. It's like Royal Rumble or something, where it's like not you and like it's just like where you and I just take on the whole group, and then we're the last two standing. We come out as victors, dude.
Oh yeah, tag team Royal Rumble and stuff.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's plan on it next year.
Probably sure I'm gonna have to train. I'm gonna have to start training. Stretch and
I know, me too.
Practice my roundhouse.
Yeah,
practice my roundhouse kicks.
We got this. Awesome. Well, fighters, I got a question for you. So
yeah, shoot.
I want to know the origins of your name, A-Games-FighterZ. Where did you get that from?
Well, it's it's something like his my first name is Aaron, so A-A-R-O-N. So and then so I was like, one day I decided, like, I've heard of I figured since my name starts with an A, why not modify the first letter of my name. So and then I used to hear the word every now and then, the word A game, like bring me your A game. So I was like, whoa, yeah. I used to hear that word around a lot through work and just throughout, just throughout. And then so like, because the word A game, like you feel like if you put in a sentence like bring me your A game, or I need you to be on your A game type stuff, that means to me, to be at your best, so that's really that's where the word A games comes from, so. And then of course fighters, I basically play the best fighters that are out to date, so whether it's retro or modern, I play the best fighters out there. So and so I also so I know I'm mainly a retro fighter, but I do find myself a balance in between modern and retro. So like if you notice, on Fridays I play the modern fighters, Tekken 7 and the King of Fighters 15. And then on Saturdays it's strictly strictly the the retro fighters and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's the origin of the name A-Games-FIGHTERZ. So it mainly comes from there. So yeah, just yeah, and yeah, pretty much in in simple translation, best fighters.
Yeah, dude, I love the name. When I first came on your channel, I was like, A-Games-FIGHTERZ. That's a really cool name. Kind of like fits whenever you said it on when I first watched you. You're like, hey, my name is A-Games-FIGHTERZ. I'm like, man, that's a pretty dope name. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're just playing like all like these fighting games and stuff, and like I think I've told a few peeps here on Twitch, but A-Games is one of the first people that I watched here on Twitch that played retro fighters. I never really got the chance to like check out other fighters because I was so new to Twitch. And I actually found A-Games through Instagram. We were Instagram friends before we were Twitch friends and stuff. So because he showed off his gaming collection on Instagram, and I liked all this stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, you have a pretty awesome collection. I gave him a follow. He gave me a follow. Then I saw him on his story saying he's streaming on Twitch. And I'm like, oh, that's my first time. I mean, I'm like, oh, wait. I was like, hey, he's streaming on Twitch. I have a Twitch too. So I went to go check him out. Then, yeah, the rest is history. Just went in his channel. I'm like watching him play Street Fighter Alpha 3. Him drinking a lot of coffee before he went to work. Because you're a morning streamer. Yeah, I remember that. You're a morning streamer. You're like, oh man, I gotta go get to work. And you just have your coffee and everything. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you remember I used to drink my coffee on stream and shit.
Yeah. You always made a cup of coffee every time. I remember that. Every time when you streamed.
Those were the days, man. And oh shit, we got Odd Gaming, welcome in, brother, man.
Hey, Odd Gaming, thank you.
Yeah, he's from the A-Games community, so
nice.
Welcome in, brother, man. Yeah. Actually, Odd Gaming also, he was one of the OGs I met too, and in the start of our Twitch journey. I met him around the same time I met you, dude.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome, cool, sweet. So it's been there since the beginning. Nice.
Yeah, he's one of the OGs too. So like I'd be hanging out with him too, and sometimes on his stream and stuff like that. Streams a lot of indie horror games and stuff like that.
Ooh, nice.
But yeah, man, that's how our friendship bonded, d-Rad, bro. Like I still remember that day, man. Like matter of fact, when I first started streaming, I was streaming Dragon Ball FighterZ, and then I remember you coming out, and I like. I remember when you came out, man, and I was like, oh, it's like I was surprised, like, oh shoot, what's up, man? And then we started talking, and then you hung around and everything like that, and then you were coming to almost all of my streams, like, I'm gonna drop him some love too. And then I saw you were streaming the retros, like, okay, this is my childhood right here.
Yeah.
You're streaming games I grew up with and stuff. So, and I think like you and I clicked really like within seconds. You and I clicked really fast, man. And this is where I say, because like, this is where like sometimes in my streams, because like I said, I've made a tradition for my channel where I always tell the chat in my streams, I said, guys, towards the end of the year, I tell the chat, I'll be like, guys, towards the end of the year, the d-Rad PunX in me comes out, which means I will start to change up the channel to where I start streaming retro platformers. So. And when I saw you stream retro platformers, I was like, okay, this guy has really, he knows what's up. He really knows what's up. So, and then that's where like, like I said, this is where like you and I, like we have a lot in common when it comes to the retro titles and yeah, the retro title, even the retro fighting games, and the retro platformers. So, that's when I knew, man, that you and I were going to be really, really, really good friends, bro. And so, and that's, we've been homies since, man, and we, like I said, we met in person twice, so what are the chances of us meeting again in person this year? Time will tell. So but yeah, so and then that's where our friendship bonded. We started supporting each other. We did more than just support each other, we became friends. So like I said, there were, when I first heard that you were coming out here last year to Vegas, like, oh yeah, we got to kick it. We definitely got to kick it.
that was cool, man. Yeah, because you're just like, hey, if you want to hang out, like, let's do that. Yeah, because pretty much Vegas is my second home.
Right.
family over there, so I'm pretty much always there every year. You know, feels like home whenever, and I love it so much. And now I have like friends like you over there, so it is always home. So I appreciate the the hospitality that you gave me when you picked me up. But what do we do? We tried to go to an arcade and it wasn't open. I remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't open, but I got to do that with Dusty and Shelly, and and then that night I told my wife and daughter that Dusty and Shelly were coming in town, and my wife's like, okay, have fun. My daughter, on the other hand, she's like, Daddy, what time are you coming home? I said, so I go, I don't know, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And she held me to it too, but I came home at 4 a.m. and shit. My daughter got on my case. You said you're supposed to come home at 2 a.m. Why'd you come at 4? I was out too late.
Yeah.
You should have came home at 2 anyway. I was like, all right, I'm sorry, okay.
Hey man, that's what happens when you like hang out with us, man. Because for real, like if you went out to Level Up Expo, if you went out with me, you'd probably be home at 5.
Bro, like that's another thing. The level, and that's the thing, man. When I really wanted to come with you that night, man. I really wanted to go with you that night, man. And get off. Trying to sleep to my dog's trying to get to my food.
Oh.
So yeah, buddy. Yeah. So when that night, bro, I really wanted to come, man. Like I was dead set getting ready to go with you, man. And I don't know what happened. I said, yes, D-Rad, I'm gonna be there. Like this is the only chance I'm gonna get to party with you and everything. Yeah. And as soon as we got home, bro, as soon as my wife and daughter, as soon as we got home from the expo, bro, I kid you not, I dropped right here on the living room floor and fell asleep.
Oh man, hey, it was a pretty long day, so I don't blame you, because I just remember just texting you like, hey, just let me know if you want to come out.
Yeah, and I was like, I told myself, I said I'm not gonna miss this opportunity to party with D-Rad. And then so I was all wired up, the whole entire time.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I was fine. Like I was wired up. Like I was energized. But when I came home, I didn't realize how tired I was. I was out, bro. And I was like, oh, and I regret it. I regret it to this day. And then the following, which was Sunday, the following day, I slept all freaking day. I think I got out of bed I'm getting out of bed by like 7.
Yep.
I slept all freaking day, dude. I slept all day, bro. And then I was like, oh shoot, man. And I was like, D-Rad, bro, I couldn't make it, man. I'm so sorry. I passed out on the living room floor.
No worries. It was a long con, man. Like you were there really early, I remember.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you got there before me, because that goes until like maybe starts at like 11 in the morning and ends at like around 8. Because I think you left around like before, like when it was about to close and stuff.
Yeah, bro. I had a really good time, man. I was looking forward to it, man. Like, if I think if you do happen to go to next year's Level Up Expo, which is what 7 months from now, that's not too far away.
Dude, I'm going, man. They just announced the dates.
Oh, they did?
Yep, they announced the dates for him. Okay. I think the 17th through the 19th. Okay. You can get the badges. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna be there. Okay. That's my con, man. That's my favorite con. So I'm always gonna be there. I'm gonna always try my best to be over there.
Are you gonna go to the after party?
Oh yeah, of course.
I gotta go, man.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I missed this opportunity this year, man. I was like, man, to party with D-Rad, like, let's go.
I was like, oh, he's not the A-Games party that I remember on Twitch. Just kidding, dude. Hey, we got Leo in here. What's up, Leonidas?
Leo, what's good, brother, man? Thank you for coming in, man. Thanks for joining the podcast. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, Leo. Awesome. It's always nice to see you, Leo.
Yeah, good to see you, brother Leo.
But I would say in my head, I was like, that's not A-Games parties. That's A-Games tired or A-Games sleepy.
I was I passed out, and then I don't know, and then I think my wife asked me. She goes, "Aren't you supposed to be going to the party?" I was like, "Yeah, just give me 20, give me 20, 30 minutes." And yeah, 20 minutes my foot, you know. So and I didn't I didn't wake up, man. I didn't wake up. I was out, bro.
Oh, no worries,
I
dude.
regret it, bro. Ugh.
Hey, man, I always keep saying to you, there's always next year, and that's gonna come very soon. And that's gonna be fun, because I was like in that same boat as you, because my friend was just telling me, he's like, hey, I'm going to because I went Friday, and I was just like, man, I'm very tired. I think I'm just gonna go pass out right after Saturday. But he's like, yeah, we're all going. I'm like, all right, I'm going. I'm like, A-Games, if you want, you could go join. And you're just like, I do want to go, but I'm kind of tired. I could tell. I'm just like, no, it's okay, man. I'll feel you.
and you gave me the option to go with you. You did too, and I was like,
yep.
You did, and I was like, you know what? I was like, ride with d-Rad or take my wife and daughter home, and then bring the car, and then what do I do? So I was like, I'm gonna take them home, and I'll call you back. I didn't call you back.
Yep. They were texting me, and I'll show you pictures. Like, dude, look at this.
Yeah, man, you sent me that. I was like, damn, I missed out, man. You know, so I was like, yeah, bro, and I was like, yeah, next year, I can't miss this opportunity. And it'd be a plus if Shelly and Dusty can come too. I know they've been very busy.
I hope they do. I'm gonna try to get them too. So they'll definitely be joining us. Then, yep. If they do come, you're not coming home until 7 in the morning, fighters.
Oh, bro. I'm gonna hear from. I'm gonna control my daughter again.
Just give them a heads up.
Yeah. I'm gonna hear it from my daughter when I come home.
Yeah.
Daddy, why are you home at 7 a.m.? You were supposed to come home last night.
Just hanging out with my gamer friends.
Yeah, that's what I told her. That's what I told her the last time when Shelly and Dusty were here.
Man. We got Bees in my coffee here. Hey, Bees, thank you for stopping in and hanging out with me in the A-Games. What up?
Welcome in, Bees. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. Oh, man. So just remember, A-Games, for next year, just prepare your body.
Yes.
Because you will probably be going to the after party with us, but it's going to be a long con too, so you got to prepare for that. And yeah, just tell your daughter and your wife ahead of time that you're going to be home at 7 in the morning.
Bro, check it out. Here's the funny part. My wife is understanding, okay?
Yep.
My daughter not so much.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Yep. No worries.
Oh shoot. No, yeah.
No, so it's not like we go like extremely hard or anything. I'll probably buy you a lot of drinks. So hey, take this shot with me.
Yeah.
When you're caught up in the moment like that, it's pretty fun. Like that's what happened when I was there. Because I met like a few peeps over there. I always do that when I'm just like waiting for the bus to go to the after party. I just meet some new peeps, and they're just like, "Hey, you want to hang out with us?" Like, yeah, sure. I'm like, yeah. Like, so what do you guys do? Kind of like that. So we just talk, and we're just all like vibing, having a great time. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Can I get you a shot or anything?" I'm like, yeah, I got you in the next round or something like that. Then just like they just keep buying and buying. I'm like, no, it's okay, I'm good. And they're just like, and I'm like, oh man, I'm just like, I'm gonna buy you something. Then it just keeps going and going, and you just have so much fun. And you realize it's like 5, 6 in the morning. You're like, oh yeah, man, all right, I gotta go home.
Yeah, you realize it's 5, 6 in the morning, and everybody's leaving, and the sun is out.
Yeah, that's the Vegas life, though. Like, if you guys have not experienced the Vegas life, no matter where you go, even if you're just like at a bar or a nightclub or anything, I guarantee you're gonna be staying up until 4 or 5 in the morning, just hanging out with just people that your friends or people that you met randomly at the strip. Yeah, because it's just everybody. If you vibe with people, it's just really fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely, and it's the truth that you just have so much fun out there. And for me living in Vegas all my life, you know what I mean? Like, this is something I don't do every day.
Yeah.
You know, so, but on a special occasion, like kicking it with you, Dusty and Shelly, and any other, hopefully any other Twitch streamer in the future, the first chance I get. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just gonna tell you, I did not know anything outside of Vegas, because when I used to go, like in the beginning days, like, you know, of course, it's like I only knew about the Strip. But when my parents moved out to Vegas, there's, you know, beautiful, like a lot of beautiful like cities outside of it and whatnot. You know, I'm like beautiful places like to go hiking and whatnot. And I'm just like, wow, this is really nice. Because whenever I'm there, I'm not at the Strip. I'm kind of like sick of it, only unless like there's a special occasion, like you said. So I'm mostly staying in the like cities like Henderson and whatnot. And I'm just like, man. And I'm like, man, it's beautiful. You guys have a lot of places to eat, which I'm really jealous, because
that's a plus. I agree with that. That's a plus.
So many choices of like foods.
Yes.
Which it's cool. Then you just have like, man, just things like opening up. Like, you know, you might have like, you know, like I really like your retro video game scene, like with your video game stores and stuff.
Oh yeah, pretty legit.
I bought like a lot of stuff and took it home just going over to Vegas, and I found some really cool stuff to add into my collection. So this is
nice.
That's why I really like the video game scene with the stores over there. I think it's pretty cool, because here in Minnesota they don't have a lot anymore. Fortunately, a lot of them closed down, which I'm like sad about, because I'm just like, oh man, I'm not gonna find any more like retro video games. You do some retro hunting too, right? Because you got a good collection.
It's been months. It's actually, I do. But I know in my case, it's been months. It's been a long old time. It's been months. And one of the reasons is that because, you know, currently, you know, my wife and I, we're hoping to buy a house within 3 years from now. So we're saving up our money. Yeah. So but I think maybe tidbits of, you know, buying something here and there is cool, but I have to remind myself, hey man, you gotta chill out, you gotta be responsible. So you know, but yeah, it's been months, you know, and I mean, then again, Father's Day is coming up, so I could go check out a retro game store my next day off. So
hey, you never know if they have deals or anything, because that's the best. The only, like I say, like if you want to go get some games, it's always the best time to go get games. They're in a sale, like Memorial Day or maybe Father's Day, Mother's Day. You know, they have those like buy two get one free type of deals. So you never know. You'll never know. You can find something that's a steal and stuff.
That's a definitely, yeah. So, actually, no, I lied. I take that back. It was, I did go to Retro Game Store recently. I take that back. Retro City Games. I know you went there recently, not recent, but you did go there. Retro City Games.
Like kind of right by the Strip, right?
Yes.
That mall section?
Yeah, it's actually closer to Henderson. It's on Sunset and Sunset.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I have, yeah.
I went there, when did I go there? I think I went there 2 months ago. It was shortly after my birthday, and I bought 2 retro titles. I think I don't remember which one they were. I lied. I take that back. I did go recently. I bought, I think, Silent Hill 2. Oh, I think
PS2, right?
No, I didn't. I bought Metal Gear Solid 2. That's what I bought. I bought the OG Xbox version.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. And then I bought another. Oh, yeah. I bought Metal Gear Solid 2 on the OG Xbox. Ooh, and I bought Virtual Fighter 2 for the Sega Saturn. I don't have a Saturn. I don't have any Saturn consoles. But I bought it anyway to collect it.
Dude, I'm the same thing. I don't have a Sega Saturn, but I have a Virtual Fighter 2 because I wanted it.
yeah. Virtual Fighter's gradually grown on me. I don't play Virtual Fighter, but it's grown on me gradually. So so like I have some love for it. So I was like, I'll go ahead and buy it.
Nice.
You know. So and I think that that was like 2 months ago, and that was the last time I went to a retro game store, and then just the other day, a couple days ago, I went down to GameStop so
Yep.
that I can finish pre-ordering the Capcom Fighting Collection for PS4.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice.
I'm actually gonna buy 2 copies. I think what I'm gonna do, as a late birthday present, my daughter doesn't know this. I'm gonna get it for her. The PS4 copy is mainly for her.
Cool.
I'm gonna buy the Steam copy. I'm gonna buy the Steam copy. So, but I'm gonna buy it for her because of Puzzle Fighter. I got her into Puzzle Fighter.
Yeah.
You know, that's why. So, but in my case, I'm gonna buy it for Steam, and I think I'm mainly gonna get it for maybe Darkstalkers 3. Darkstalkers 3. I've never played anyone online with Darkstalkers 3, so I'm gonna probably, when I buy it, I'll probably make content of it on stream. I'll be making content. I'll be making some content of the Capcom Fighting Collection. When that drops. I'll be making content of it.
Awesome. Yeah, same here, because I love Puzzle Fighter, and really never got the chance to, battle just like a whole bunch of people like online and do something like that. So I think it's going to be really cool, and just have it, because I'm going to get it for the Switch. So having it on the go and just play that's going to be so much fun. So I'm like really looking because that was kind of like my wish list, like man, when are you gonna release Puzzle Fighter for the Nintendo Switch, Capcom? Because I just wanted that up, and when they have this retro collection put into one, I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool, because I never really got the chance to play any of the Darkstalker series, but always seen them like on GamePro magazines and stuff. And I've like a huge like 96 to 98 like magazines of like Darkstalkers, like was it Fighting Generations, like what was it? It was like a Fighting Generations with the move list and everything, and it always featured Darkstalkers on it, and I always thought this game was pretty cool, because probably the closest thing would be Marvel vs. Capcom playing Darkstalker characters. But since they have with this is pretty cool, because I can dabble in it, see what it's all about. It's very similar to what I've seen like to Street Fighter Alpha, same mechanics and everything. What else? And they have the Street Fighter Hyper Anniversary Collection. Yep. And I have that for the PS2. I played that whole bunch of times. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be coming out. But dude, yeah, we definitely have to get on Puzzle Fighter against each other, because me and A-Games actually went against each other at Level Up Expo. Yeah, got him, man. So it was very competitive. Me and him were so neck to neck, where I thought he was gonna win, because I dropped the gems and he drops the gems, and it was like quite a while. Then I finally I was like, oh man, that was crazy. So definitely have a rematch online and at Level Up Expo too. So
I want to definitely have to be on stream, if on your stream. I mean, however you want to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely hit you up on that like collab and stuff, and just like, hey, come on, let's do Puzzle Fighter on the Capcom collection. So yeah. Maybe you can make a dramatic appearance matchup like you did with Dusty, like with the Mortal Kombat matchup. Maybe you could do something like that. Oh yeah, I mean you.
Now, real quick, like in the case of Darkstalkers, I want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Considering fighting games. Yeah, because I remember how Darkstalkers in the 90s was out there in the radar. Capcom was really trying to put it out there in the radar. And so Darkstalkers was definitely it's definitely an underrated title. Definitely a game that does not deserve enough love. Yet the game, the Darkstalkers game itself, like I said, it's been the people have been asking for a Darkstalkers game. The people have been asking for a Darkstalkers game since the days of Street Fighter 4. Since the early development of Street Fighter 4, the people have been asking for a Darkstalkers game. And there's reasons behind why it never came to fruition, which I will explain. Oh, shoot, we got Kirby in the house.
Yo, Kirby!
What up, Kirby? Odd Gaming says Darkstalkers is dope. Facts, bro. Facts, bro. So, but yeah, back to Darkstalkers. The thing is that if you think about it, Darkstalkers never had a new entry. So like it had rehashes, and that was pretty much it. So they came out with a couple titles on PS1, and then there was I think there was a Japan PS2 exclusive, a Vampire Savior Collection, which is Japan exclusive, and then there was a port of Darkstalkers 3 on PSP, and that was it. You never saw a Darkstalkers game, and then there was the Darkstalkers Resurrection on PS3, and that was it. You never saw a new entry. One of the main reasons is because during the Street Fighter days and the fighting game booming and all that, Darkstalkers was lived in the shadow of Street Fighter. Okay, so what I mean by that is that, you know, Darkstalkers was not very popular. It was popular, but not on the level of Street Fighter. Now, then it was popular in Japan. Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't as popular. It was not. No, it wasn't. It was actually not as popular in Japan either. There was just things about the game that just didn't really grasp people that like they would with Street Fighter. So and not only that, the games didn't make much sales. Like it saw small success, but it didn't make much sales. So I think the series has like a cult, I think maybe a bigger than a cult following. But the games were not very popular in Japan either. Even though they saw some successes, but Darkstalkers was never on the level of Street Fighter. Okay, so and then fast forward. So then, you know, then there was the Darkstalkers Resurrection. Yeah. So then there was Darkstalkers Resurrection on the PS3. So I can explain that too. So here's the deal with that. So remember when Third Strike Online Generation came out, and then, you know, that blew up on PS3, and then Super Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting Remix, that's a long ass name. That blew up too.
I remember that.
Okay, so right, you remember all that. Right? So then they tried their hand with Darkstalkers Resurrection on PS3 online, right? So when that came out, when that was released, Capcom was using Darkstalkers Resurrection on PS3 and 360. When they re-released it with the HD remaster, everything, they re-released it as testing grounds. They wanted to see if the game was going to make enough sales, okay? If the game was good, you know, to see if it can make breaking grounds, to see if they can make 2 million sales, 2 million units. So, unfortunately, it did not hit breaking grounds. Unfortunately, Darkstalkers could not crack the sales. It didn't crack it. However, it was one of the most top 10 downloaded games on the PlayStation Network for its time. It was one of the most downloaded top 10. It was one of the most downloaded games on PlayStation Network. It was part of the top 10's most downloaded games. But unfortunately, it didn't crack the 2 million sales, so that they can go ahead and produce enough sequel. So that they can go ahead and produce a sequel. So they gave it the final nail in the coffin. Okay. So, and then because otherwise, if it would have made 2 million sales, it would have been sitting right along with Street Fighter 4. Right. Okay. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So they decided to, you know, since Street Fighter 4 is their mainstream success, they decided to take it with Street Fighter 4. You know, obviously Street Fighter 4 is going to make them some money. And then now, you know what I mean? Like, you know, many years later, we're in 2022. They bust out with the Capcom Fighting Collection. And if you think about it too, like I said, even though Darkstalkers Resurrection did not crack 2 million sales, it's crazy because the demand has been strong from what I've seen. You know, there's been like the fan requests for bringing back a new Darkstalkers entry that people have been asking for since the beginning of Street Fighter 4, since the days of Street Fighter 4. Yep. And like I said, now that Capcom Fighting Evolution is out, they put the Darkstalkers games in there. And, you know, again, the fans, I follow a lot of fighting game groups on Facebook too. Yeah. So that's where I get some of my news, information, and sometimes I go on Wikipedia just so I make sure the information is legit. So now that Darkstalkers has appeared once again in the Capcom Fighting, Evolution, from to my understanding, it seems like the people, the fighting game, the FGC, the fighting game community, are really trying to push it to like support the sales of the game so that we can see a Darkstalkers entry.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you got to look at this too. So if Capcom Fighting Evolution, if it does financially successful, it does not guarantee a new Darkstalkers game. We have to understand that as fighting gamers, as the FGC, we got to understand that. It does not guarantee a new game. It doesn't. So, I do believe, like Capcom's they're gonna be looking at numbers. Okay, when the game drops, Capcom's gonna be looking at numbers. So we gotta be aware of that. Now, if they, what I mean, then like it's in my case, what I believe, it's a 50-50. Whether there's a crack in sales or not, it's a 50-50. That whether Capcom's gonna go ahead and produce a new Darkstalkers entry. One of the big FGC heads, he goes by, I'm sure you know who he is, Daigo. He's a professional, he's a pro Street Fighter player. He said in a brief article that even if it cracked, even if Darkstalkers and the Capcom Fighting Evolution made sales, he doesn't believe there's going to be a Darkstalkers entry. So he just blatantly, he's like, hey, I'm gonna break it to y'all. There's not gonna be a Darkstalkers entry, even though this game collection is gonna break sales. So
yep.
And but you know what? We will see. We will see. For me, I will give my verdict after May. I'll probably wait a few months or a few weeks after before I give my verdict, because I don't want to be that type of person who's just jump the gun and then jump to conclusions and stuff like that. So I'm the type to reserve my judgment. Street Fighter 6. You see the trailer for Street Fighter 6?
Oh yeah, man.
It's hype. It looks good.
Dope. I love it. I can't wait to pick that up, man. Like once I saw that, I was like, oh man, this is so good. I know they went with a different direction. I know people don't like when it's like new or anything, but it's just like, people have that and that, but this is how I personally feel. And I'm just like, man, I'm getting it. This is awesome. This is so cool. Has that, I don't know, just the realistic vibes to it. Has like a King of Fighters, yet like a little bit of Mortal Kombat to it, just a little bit, just because I like the style where they're just like punch each other and the ink comes out of there. Like I was like, oh man, that's the style that like when Street Fighter 4 came out, they were just had like the art and design and with that, and now they're putting it in there. And it's and I think that's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see the gameplay. I heard you can make your own characters in that game, the new Street Fighter 6, because that's what I've been hearing, the rumors. Like you you can actually create your own character. And I'm like, okay, this is dope.
No, I haven't heard about that.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool because I would like to create myself in Street Fighter.
Right? Yeah. There is what I will say this. I really like the designs of the fighters. I like how they really went urban-esque. Like this is really urban themed. Like compared to all other Street Fighter games, it's like they really took the design, they really took the characters and gave them all this urban-esque, like this urban, like they've been hanging out in the hood, you know what I mean? Like they've been hanging out in the ghetto, you know what I mean? Like they've been hanging out in the slums type, you know what I mean? They really gave him that urban-esque, and I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And I can relate because I grew up in the hood, you know what I mean? So I can definitely relate. I like that vibe that they give out, and because if you notice, all past Street Fighter games, within the Street Fighter games before, they never really went with the whole urban look, urban look and all that. Yeah. They always represented the fighters, from different cultures, from different cities and everything like that. Yeah. And they dressed according to where they're from, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? T-Hawk, you know what I mean? Yeah. T-Hawk's from Mexico, but he dresses like a Native American, but if one does their history, there's history of Native Americans settling in Mexico as well. So if one does their history, and stuff. Yeah, ancestors and everything like that. So and then you have Dalsim, he's from India, and he loves elephants,
Yep.
and everything. So they just things like that, they do, they normally that's how they usually do things with the design and the representation of the characters. But it seems like this time around, everyone's got that drip, you know what I mean? Everyone's got that urban drip, no matter what nationality you're from. Everyone's got that urban drip, you know what I mean? So that's freaking cool. I like that. I really like that.
Did you see the roster leak?
I did.
With the designs and stuff. That's pretty cool. I like the illustrations that the artist did with all the characters that are gonna be in Street Fighter 6.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's gonna be. I'm hoping for the return for Adon. You know me, I'm an Adon player. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of you. I was like, hey, they don't have a multiplayer. I'm like, they might. Because you need some alpha representation in there, man. Or maybe bring some classic, because remember when I was talking to you about like in Street Fighter, Astro, what up? Regular Street Fighter 1. And I talked to you about the ninja that never made an appearance. And I was just like, man, that'd be cool if he made an appearance and stuff. And if any of the games, or maybe like some of them.
Right. Like I said before, at the time, it would be cool. I would like to see, and that's the thing, man. Like, it would be nice for them, because like the Street Fighter 1 characters have been, except for a couple of them, the Street Fighter 1 characters they've been ignored for, about 25, 30 years now.
Yep.
With the exception of some of them, you know what I mean? So, like in the case with Geki, I would like to see Geki return for Street Fighter 6. However, like I said before, it's not the same Geki from Street Fighter 1.
Yeah.
Because the original Geki died. Canonically, he's dead. The original Geki died, and he died during a training mission. He was on a training mission, and he got killed in an accident. He died in an accident. Yeah, so the person closest to him in their clan took up the mantle, and so
the apprentice can do that.
The next Geki that's in the Street Fighter franchise is actually Geki number 2. So they can. So if they bring in Geki 2, they can continue Geki's legacy through Geki number 2, if that makes sense,
Oh heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
So like as you can see, I'm a big fighting enthusiast, man, when it comes to like lore and all that, you know what I mean?
Dude.
So like I get all my research from Wikipedia.
Dude,
that's what I heard.
Dude, I love your passion. I know you're talking about earlier, and like guys, what you're hearing, I love this. Whenever like I like hang out with A-Games, he's just like blasting me with like, facts that he's known, and some things that, his theories when it comes to things. He knows every fighter that I mentioned, and I love your passion. Fighters, how did that like all come together? Where is it like when you're a kid growing up, your love for fighting games?
I've been like, how old was I? I think the first time I laid eyes on Street Fighter was like 30 plus years ago when I lived in California, when I lived in Los Angeles, California. That was 30 plus years ago. Like at the time I used to, it was, I used to, so my first time I was living in Van Nuys. That's where I first saw it. Van Nuys, California. Okay? So it was like every other Saturday I used to go with my mom to the laundromat. Back in the 90s, you remember that? The laundromat in the 90s.
Dude, I remember.
And where there was Street Fighter 2, there was Double Dragon. So, and that's where I first learned about Street Fighter 2. You know what I mean? And I saw it in the laundromat 30 plus years ago in the laundromat. That's how I learned about Street Fighter 2. And I remember watching these older kids play it. Like there was like, I remember seeing a lot of Ken and Ryu usage. You know what I mean? And Ken and Ryu, a little bit of Bison, not so much Guile, but mainly Ken and Ryu. I used to see the older kids play that competitively, and I used to just stand there and stare at them, just watch them play competitively for hours until they ran out of quarters. And or if one wasn't playing competitively, he was playing against the computer. And I would just have while my mom's busy doing the laundry, I would sit there with my eyes glued to the screen watching the older kids play.
Man. You're just like me when I used to go to the arcades, man. I would just watch especially Mortal Kombat was my favorite. I would just watch people play Mortal Kombat 2, these teenagers, and they were hella good. And they're just like connecting his move with the fatalities. This is my face. I was just like, the whole time, I was like glued in.
Yeah.
But go on, sorry, fighters. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
And then so, you know what I mean? So that's what I used to do. And you know, and if they weren't playing Street Fighter 2, they were playing then they were playing a Double Dragon. They used to sit side to side together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were. I used to watch the older kids play Double Dragon. I fell in love with, you know, I fell in love with beat 'em ups too. Like I used to watch these kids play Double Dragon. I've never seen them beat the game, but they would get pretty far until they ran out of quarters, and that was it. You know, so and that's how I fell in love with fighting games and beat 'em ups in general. And that's how I fell in love with it, with that. And but when actually, if you didn't know, beat 'em ups were the big brother of fighting games. If in case you didn't know, they were actually. I used to call beat 'em ups fighting games as a kid because you fight. They were actually the precursor to fighting games, and then you know, fighting games gradually took over. When I know Street Fighter 1 came out in '89, but like you know what I mean, it wasn't popping. So then, but when Street Fighter 2 dropped in, God, was it '91?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When Street Fighter 2 dropped in '91, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's when things blew up. So that's when like not only did Street Fighter blew up, you know, you had Fatal Fury on the rise, you had Mortal Kombat, and then you had all these other niche fighting games blowing up to where the beat 'em up genre was starting to phase out. But they hold a special connection though. If you think about it, the beat 'em ups and the fighting games, they have a special. They do hold a special connection together. They do. I believe they do.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Some of them evolve into what I mean by that. Well, elaborate, fighters. I don't understand. Well, some beat 'em up games have evolved into 2v2 fighting games. Let me give you an example. Like, you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. Okay, and then you got Hyperstone Heist, or like the TMNT4. You know, eventually the beat 'em up games evolved into 2v2 fighting or one-on-one fighting games. You know what I mean? So that's one example. They evolved into fighting games, is one-on-one competitive fighting games. You have the Double Dragon series that were known for beat 'em ups, you know, just like Ninja Turtles. You have the Double Dragon series that were known for just a plethora of beat 'em up in the series. Okay, by the events of Double Dragon 5, A Shadow Falls. It was evolved. That was the fifth sequel in the series. Okay, by the time Double Dragon 5 came out, it was evolved into it evolved from a beat 'em up into a 1v1 fighting game. So you got Battletoads. Yep, he said Battletoads 2. You know, one of them, they're Battletoads 2. They never had a beat 'em. They've never had a legit fighting game. But Rash ended up making 30 years later, 20 years later. You know what I mean? They never had a fighting game, but you got Rash, who is from the Battletoads fame beat 'em up genre. He makes his way into Killer Instinct, in 2013. So we can't forget about that. You know, and then let's talk about Final Fight. Final Fight is known for its beat 'em ups. It's known for the beat 'em up genre. Okay. Eventually, Final Fight evolved into its own fighting game, which was Final Fight Revenge for the Sega Saturn, which featured all the characters. If you ask, our Final Fight is so you're telling me Final Fight Revenge and versus the Final Fight, you tell me the games are connected, even though they're completely different genres? Yes, they are. You know, so they have a connection. So beat 'em ups and fighting games, they share a connection. You know, so but like I said, you know, it paved the way for 2v2 fighting game or one-on-one fighting games. You know, I keep saying 2v2. Well, there was 2v2 as well, but yeah, you know, it paved the way for the competitive fighting game scene. I believe. You know, so this is just some prime examples. You know, to give on how beat 'em ups and fighting games, one-on-one fighting games, how do they share a connection? That's that's my way of explaining an example. You know. So, but it does look like it does seem that they are slowly starting to shine again. If you think about it, because you know you got the TMNT Shredder's Revenge that's being produced by .emu.
Yep.
Looks really good. And then Battletoads, that was produced by .emu as well. And It's unfortunately it's you know, for anyone out there, it's only available for Xbox and Steam. I got the Steam version, and then you have Streets of Rage 4. You know,
oh man,
Streets of Rage
so
4.
good.
So the same people that produce Streets of Rage 4 and Battletoads and TMNT, you know, it's like they're gradually bringing these beat 'em up games back to light. You know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time. It's I don't know, you know what I mean, but it's only a matter of time till they put Double Dragon back on the radar with, you know, because is it .emu, right? That's the name of the company, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
That made Streets of Rage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they put Double Dragon back on the radar. You know what I mean? As a flashy looking beat 'em up. Final Fight. You know what I mean? Like, man, like they there's a lot of beat 'em ups out there that they could be, you know, doing work with. You know, so you know what I mean? Like, well, you know, time will tell. Time will tell all that, but it is nice to see them come back. And that's another thing too with my channel. Not only do I want to just stream fighting games, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I try to stream beat 'em ups, but I don't do it as much. It's because one of the main reasons why is because I forget. So I forgot to stream beat 'em ups. I try not to. So I believe that's why I believe, you know, that's why I believe I need to share that genre as well on my channel, because they share connection. So you know, so and like I said, man, like playing the beat 'em ups, and that was my passion, man. You know what I mean? And that was my passion, you know, and so. And yeah, that's how, and then to answer your question, that's how I came to the exposure of Street Fighter and Double Dragon, you know, and yeah, man, it's a part of my blood, and it always will be.
That's good, man. That's a great way to get introduced to video games, because I feel like, oh man, when I was a kid, grew up in the 90s, was I think the arcade first, because you know my parents used to take me to like this place called Circus Pizza. It was the Chuck E. Cheese's for me in I believe like it started in the 80s, then to the early 90s and closed in the mid 90s. But man, I remember that because that was full of like classic arcade games, anything from platformers to beat 'em ups to fighting games. It had everything, and I'll just never forget that. And the pizza was hella good too, so I'll never.
You know, man, like I think about this almost every day. Like sometimes I'll be at work and I'll be at home and be like, man, I miss the retro era so much, man. Long live the 90s, man. Long live the 90s, man. And then it ended in early 2000s, man. I was like, man, long live the 90s, man. That was the life, dude.
Yeah, and it stopped for a while. Like, no, it stopped for a long time until they start bringing in barcades, because that's the closest thing that you'll ever relive to. Like, if any of you guys grew up in the 80s or the 90s with arcades and you love going to that, man, it's the coolest thing to see that rebuild, because there's one here that they built. It's called Up Down, and I love it so much. I'm always it's a Midwest barcade, so they have one in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Kansas City. I believe that's it for now, but Iowa. But it's just so cool when you go in there, because it reminds me when I was a kid. It gets that nostalgia feeling and everything. I'm always there hanging out. My birthday's there. I feel like a kid when I have my birthdays. I'm in my 30s and I have my birthdays there still, eating pizza, but I have alcohol beverages. That's the only thing that changed. But I always still want to always feel like a kid, even if I'm like this, because I'm just like, that's what I grew up to. I thought I would lose that feeling like when I get older, but man, the passion has grew so much. And like hearing you just talk about all that, dude, I love it, man. I love just you talking facts about like the stuff that you grew up and the things that you love, because that's really important in life, to always stay true to yourself. And that's what I get from you, fighters. That's why I like, you know, we just connected so easily, and you know, everybody here through the community, you know, like I'm seeing like with Kirby, Odd Gaming, Astro, Tyflo was in here earlier. What's up, my naughty boy? Tyflo. Then, you know, like Leonidas, like, man, we just have so many awesome peeps here. For real.
Yeah. And you know, and I'm grateful for all of you, man. And that's what I'm saying, man. And that's why I feel like, you know, That's why I feel like d-Rad. That's where you and I have a lot in common with the retro stuff, man.
Yep.
And you know, not just the fighting games, but in the platformers too, man.
Yep.
And you know, speaking of platformers too, man, like I said before, back in the 90s, are you familiar with Silver Nugget out here? Have you heard of it?
Silver Nugget.
Silver Nugget. It's a casino.
Oh, is it at old school downtown Vegas, Fremont?
No, that was a Golden Nugget. The Silver Nugget was actually in the inner city.
Oh, no. Never heard of that casino.
So the Silver Nugget back in the day, in the 90s, mid 90s, that's where, you know, they had stuff popping there too.
Oh,
like
okay.
I used to go there every weekend. Not every weekend, but there were some weekends that because my mom would give me allowance. So
yep.
There were weekends where I would go to Silver Nugget to play the Street Fighters and stuff like that. So by that time, we're talking mid 90s now, right? So by that time, the beat 'em up genre was dead. Okay, so the beat 'em up genre, you didn't see any more beat 'em up games.
Right.
And if there was a beat 'em up game, it was produced by SNK. And the beat 'em ups by SNK was niche. So like not many people knew about it.
Right.
If anything, the beat 'em ups produced by SNK had a small cult following, but it wasn't on the level that it was with fighting games years prior. So by the time that beat 'em up was dead. So in those days I would go to Silver Nugget, and it would be popping Saturday night, bro. I loved it. The music was blaring, the cosmic bowling, the lights flashing, everything.
Oh, man.
The arcade, and I remember the arcade scene being full. There was Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Street Fighter Alpha 2, and Marvel vs. Capcom 1, X-Men Street Fighter, Tekken 3. Excuse me. What else? And Soul Edge.
Oh yeah, Soul Edge.
Caliber. Yeah.
Yep.
Soul Edge. Street Fighter 3. It was there for a while before they took it out. Yeah, man. They had the drip there, man. They had the best quality games, fighting games there too, man. And when I was going there, I found myself in that arcade. I found myself transitioning a lot between Street Fighter Alpha 2 and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Marvel vs. Capcom 1, not so much. Here and there I did, but for some reason I found myself falling back to. No, I lied. No, I played Marvel vs. Capcom as well, but I was never really good at it.
Yeah.
I know. You're lying, fighters. You are good. I promise.
You liar. Just kidding. I got a sound effect for you.
You do?
I know it's a delay. Let me know if you hear.
You're good.
Yeah. But dude, I've never seen a Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet. I've always seen Street Fighter versus X-Men everywhere, but I've never seen one until growing up, like around my 20s when they had barcades. That's the only time I've seen them. So
yeah, there was an arcade scene. There was an arcade scene for Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You know, so those are the only those were the last arcade cabinets of them. And then there was a Silver Nugget was my main place to go, but there were other places around the city at the time that had a little bit better same fighting games, but they had a little bit better ones. Like there was it's like on the other side of the strip. It was called Mary Kay's, and I would take the bus. It was very far from where I lived at. Sometimes I would take the bus. It would take me about an hour to get there, or maybe 45 minutes. I would take the damn bus just to get to Mary Kay's.
Okay.
Yeah, Mary Kay's arcade. Man, that place was popping. They had nothing but Capcom and SNK arcades.
Oh man.
Bro, it was popping. I mean, by this time we're talking about early 2000. We're talking about early 2000. You know what I mean? Like they had Mary Kay's was popping. They had Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. They had Street Fighter Alpha 3. They didn't have Alpha 2 in there. They had Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 1, and Capcom vs. SNK 2. the KOF games. They had KOFs. I think KOFs 94 through 2000. Man, it was popping,
Whoa.
dude. I think they had Tekken 3. I don't remember.
Man, that's a big like library of games to have that in the arcade. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and every now and then I would go to Mary Kay's because their arcade scene was a little bit better than Silver Nugget.
Yep.
But yeah, man, and bro, that was, oh man, that's what I'm saying. Long live the 90s, early 2000s, man. Like if I had a time machine, I wish I could just go back in this book.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
The closest thing that I have is got like, I was like, man, I'm glad I saved the VHS tape of like me and my brother going to, like I mentioned to you before, the Circus Pizza that just full of arcade cabinets and stuff. Like they like my dad my dad had like recordings of like me and Dusty like playing in the arcades and stuff. I might highlight some of that stuff because it's pretty cool, and I'm so glad they still have that, because whenever I watch it, it gives me that nostalgia feeling. Hey, it's a kitty. But I was like,
she's a bully, believe it or not.
Oh, she is.
She's a bully to my Pomeranian. Like she likes to pick on him. Like she made him squeal a couple times. So, like, yeah, she's a bully. She likes to mess with him.
What's her name?
Her name is Esther.
Esther? Oh, I like that name.
Yeah. Yeah, named after my wife named her after the Bible character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I like to think of Esther from the movie The Orphan. The whole movie, that little girl was bad, man, and yeah,
it's a bad kitty, very naughty.
Yeah, picking on the dogs.
Oh man, but I was just saying, like, having just going back and seeing all that, it just makes me really happy, because I was like, man, I've seen all these arcade cabinets and I'm just like, man, I wish they had some of these that they had, because my favorite ones is like, I always love the wrestling games. Like, I have you like, what's it called?
Royal Rumble?
No, they had WWF Superstars and WrestleFest. Okay. And it was like arcade style, like it just looked like you're like playing like a fighting game and stuff. And Slam Masters was another good one too. I've seen you play. Jam. I've seen you play, man. And I remember going in there, it's like just going in there, you're just like, hey man, this is dedicated to you. I'm like, oh thanks, because I love wrestling a lot. Yeah, so.
Slam Masters, yeah, man, because yeah. And I love Slam Masters is my shit, man. And that's another thing, that was, back in the day. At the time, I'm not in, not as, I haven't, like I said, I haven't watched wrestling in I fell off of it, because I grew up in the Attitude. You remember the Attitude Era with Stone Cold,
the Attitude,
and long live the Attitude. Man, that was popping, man. Early 2000 was popping. The Attitude Era.
That's the prime, man, of wrestling. That was crazy,
dude. And the things they did in the Attitude Era is like, it was like you could give it an R rating. They did a lot of they did it like you can almost give it an M rated content, because with the hardcore matches, like with Mankind like The Rock, and how The Rock was beating the shit out of him, and he was dude, when Mankind fell from the Hell in a Cell, from that to when Stone Cold Steve Austin got to where he got hit in the face with a shovel by Undertaker, it just, the list goes on, man.
I have one more question for you before we head out, man.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, if there's one video game that you could play forever, and it has to be one, I know it's very hard because I like to ask somebody this, every guest this. What would it be? Your number one video game that you could play forever?
Damn. You know what, man? Street Fighter, I love you so much. I grew up on you, okay? You grew on me. KOF, man. Fuck me. Oh, that's tough, dude. Now, your question's probably, okay, which one? Which KOF?
I was going to say, which one?
You know what, man? Yeah, it's going to be KOF. Which one? That's a tough one, because 15 is starting to grow on me, man.
Yeah.
And I'm loving, despite the flaws that 15 has, it's starting to grow on me, man. I want to say 13.
13?
Play forever 13. Yeah. One of the reasons, I'm going to say 13. Like,
What,
I want to say.
I was gonna say no. Yeah, I was like, what does it stick out to you?
What sticks out with me in 13 is the animations in that game, like the amount of time, and money that was put in KOF 13. The amount of time and money that KOF 15 was put in, man, and you know everything in that game is so beautifully hand drawn. Okay, everything in that game is so beautifully hand drawn, man, and SNK did a lot of work. They invested a lot of time and money into that game. And that's for one. Two is KOF 13 is one of the hardest games in KOF to learn. Okay, it is one of the hardest games in the KOF series to learn. Along with the now if you want to take it up a notch, the older KOFs like 98 and 2002 they're a lot harder to learn than 13.
Right.
But 13 is up there. So yes, KOF 13 is very hard to learn, and that's one of the reasons why I would, if I was given the chance to stick with that game forever, it would be KOF 13 because of its difficulty. Well, why the difficulty? It's so hard to learn. That's the point. I want to master its difficulty. I want to be able to master its difficulty. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, man. So
nice.
I can I know you're running out of time. Yeah. I can go on and on and on.
Yeah,
and on.
I know. Yeah. No, that's. Man, I love everybody's questions with that when I ask them that. So that's really cool, dude. I could tell that your passion, your dedication to like the KOF series. Like I know it's really hard to just choose one. But, it is. Yeah, because if I was you, I would just say all of them. Like, don't make me choose. But no, that's cool. Hey, Odd Bandicoot, what's up? How's it going?
Bandicoot.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man, I was gonna read Naroski real quick. The main reason why I love you guys because you guys put great vibes and you guys aren't toxic players. This is why you guys are amazing. Oh yeah. Because I gotta tell you this is why I wanted to have fighters in, because I love fighters because he's really real when I talk to him and everything. He doesn't hold anything back, and that's just him being him. And yeah, and I love that about him, because everybody's personalities are different and everything, and with fighters, when I first met him, I just love all that about him. He's very passionate when it comes to fighting games. Very passionate, and he just you go to his channel, and I want you guys to go check him out. I do have a command for him, so if you guys are not following fighters, go check him out on his Twitch there. Click it. Fighters can tell you freaking welcoming whenever he invites everybody. He has that energy, like my neighbor Jess. He says man, he just fired up. He has all that energy. He pumps you up, and I love that. Yeah. Like if I'm having a bad day, I go to your channel, man, and I mean it, just to have that hype and that those A-Games fighter vibes, and doing it how you want to do it, and you're a perfect example. So I just want to say, dude, thank you so much for being on the podcast, dude. Thank you so much for being my friend. Bro. Yeah, one of my first friends on here, and now we are IRL friends too, because we've hung out a few times, and can't wait to hang out with you again whenever I visit again in Vegas and stuff. Because dude, you're a good dude, and I appreciate you so much.
Of course, man, and like I said, man, if you don't make it, I know you say you're not gonna make it this summer. Mm-hmm. I got my fingers crossed that you and I meet up again at the end of the year, man.
Oh yeah, the holiday season. I hope so too.
Holiday season.
Yeah, yes. Of course.
And then if you, Shelly and Dusty come out here, we gotta go to that bar we gotta go back to that retro bar that I went to with them, and then I gotta show you guys a Player One arcade bar too. That one's popping. That one's big too. They got a bar in there too, man. We gotta hit it up, man.
Oh
everything. So
heck yeah, most definitely. So we'll definitely I'll definitely be there, man. Definitely to hit you up. Thank you guys so much. I cannot thank you guys enough. And make sure to check out A-Games-FighterZ on his Twitch, and I might possibly see you guys tomorrow in the morning, because I might be streaming pop up. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.